Hi everyone, welcome to the Reluctant Sisters podcast. I'm Adrienne. I am the Reluctant Knitter. This is a bi-weekly-ish podcast about knitting and sometimes other things. What was I going to say? Oh, and about mostly knitting. Whatever. I screwed it up already, so it's fine. Anyway, I'm coming to you from the southern shoreline of Connecticut. There's only one shoreline and it's in the south. It's on Long Island Sound. The shoreline of Connecticut, where I live with my husband and our Great Dane, Elizabeth Bennett, who you will probably see because she took a nap while I was getting ready to do this. So that's perfect. Okay, so welcome back. Welcome back to returning viewers and welcome to new viewers. I hope that you like it. And cool. Where you can find me. I'm on Instagram as The Reluctant Knitter, on Ravelry as Reluctant Knitter with no E in the knitter, and we have a podcast group on Ravelry, the Reluctant Sisters podcast group, where we have a KAL going on, so go check it out. I actually haven't even looked in like a minute. Let me see if there's any posts in it. We are doing a cold weather KAL right now. Oh, I do. Guys, thanks so much for participating. Oh, awesome. I have a sweater. I have a hat with a cool pom-pom. I have another hat. I have a loop cowl, another hat, a sweater. Oh my gosh, guys, another hat. Sweater, hat. Seductive Berry has been very active. She's knit some really cool things. Look at this hat, guys. I'm obsessed. It is really cute. Can you see it? Ooh, there's like a glare. I like it, Maria. All right, cool. So I'm going to go in there later on and I will do some chatting it up because I know I haven't been very good at that in the past. Okay. Cold weather KAL is going on right now through March 19th because that is the first day of spring. So, yeah, I mean, I said whips are allowed. I mean, whatever. I want it to be very chill, along. The only thing, so it's anything basically that you would wear in the cold weather. So sweaters, hats, scarves, cowls, shawls. I'm including shawls because I wear my shawls like scarves. So I know a lot of other people do. Mitts, mittens, fingerless mitts, gloves, whatever. The only thing that's not included is socks. And because you wear socks more than in the cold weather, whatever. And there's plenty of sock KALs going on. There's always sock KALs. And, I feel like let's venture out from socks a little bit and do some cold weather stuff to get excited for winter. You can double dip, triple dip, whatever, if there's other KALs going on. And if there's other KALs going on, go ahead and post about it so that we can all share in the fun. I'm not doing a separate chatter and FO thread, so all are welcome. Please be responsible. I think I said this before. And don't not knit anything and just go in and comment on people's stuff so that you would win a prize because that's kind of like not cool. So, and you don't have to finish it before March 19th. You start something, life happens, you don't finish it. You can go ahead and post some whips in there, post your progress. Don't post like don't post like 100,000 pictures of your whip though, like 1 or 2 of your whip, a couple if it's a sweater, 1 if it's a hat, and then your finished object. That's cool too. I'm not gonna really like be in there regulating a whole lot, so just be mindful and let's just have fun, okay? I don't know what I just clicked on, but the other thing I want to say is the 500 subscriber giveaway. The previous winner never got in touch with me. Wah, wah. So I did a little poll on Instagram. I asked if I should pick a new winner or try to reach out to the winner. It was majority voted. Pick a new winner. So I did. I hope that's okay. Irene Bradberry. Yes, Irene Bradberry. Congratulations. She started watching Bag a Day, which I still haven't even looked up. So you get this. I've already shown it like a million times, but let's show it again. Rock and String Creations, DK Weight, in a self-striping colorway, caramel apple cider. It's a little later than fall now. I mean, I think it's still fall. When's the first day of winter? Not until like late. This little fall notions pouch that my sister Sarah made, and a progress keeper that I made, a little pumpkin progress keeper. Can you see that? Okay. So Irene, please get in touch with me. Either you can DM me on Instagram or you can message me on Ravelry, and I'll keep a lookout for your information so I can send you that. Congratulations. What I'm wearing. This is another mystery knit. It's not really a mystery. I'm sure my sister Sarah knows, but this was knit for me by my sister before I started knitting. It is a poncho type thing out of Eco Wool in green. That's all I know about it. I'm sure you can find out more information about it. I don't know. Maybe I'll do some sleuthing and put it down below. All my show notes are down below, just so you know. And okay, so we can get on with the podcast. I have some finished objects, one of which you can see right here. This is my, I don't know if I want to take it off. I guess I will. I've decided. My Lulu Llama Diamond Dots. I have framed it, so I am really happy with it. She is super cute. My husband was like not that into it when I started it, and when it was done, he was like, wow, I really actually kind of like it because it's a lot more sparkly than he originally thought it would be. She's so cute. So she replaced my love sign there. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but I enjoyed it. It was fun. She's so cute. My other FO I actually don't have because I already gifted it. It was my Very Easy Poncho by Cara Karina. I did finish it and I have already gifted it to my friend. So I told her that she had to take pictures of it so that I could put it on my Ravelry page. I'm sure I'm not going to get it in time for when I edit this podcast, but it's finished. So that's cool. I have some whips. I have some old whips and a new whip for you guys to see. So the first one I will show you is my Fireside Gingham Afghan. This is a crochet. It is a free pattern on Neflix website. It is by Donna Baranti. It also comes with a pillow, which I don't know if I'm going to do, but that's what it looks like. I'm really loving this, like a lot. So this is my first crochet project ever. I'm knitting this on, okay, whatever. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm knitting this with Knit Picks Brava Sport. It is, I think, 100% acrylic. 100% acrylic. Premium acrylic in black, red, and wine. And I'm knitting this with a G. Is it a G or an F? An F hook. So this is how far I've gotten. It is like a twin size, so it'll be perfect for like hanging out on the couch. I don't have a twin size bed in my house, so it will probably hang out on the couch. I'm really loving this. I'm really kind of obsessed with it. So where the little pizza stitch marker, this is from Super Miniatures. It's like a pepperoni pizza. That's where I was last when I showed you. So I've gotten a couple more blocks done. They are 4x4 little squares. So yeah, I love it. It's really cool. The nice thing too about knitting or crocheting a blanket is that it does keep you warm. I know it's just a little bit, but I usually sit on the couch cross-legged, so it keeps you warm while you're knitted. You could do it with a sweater or a shawl too, because they get kind of big. So this is in my New Jersey Wool Walk bag that my mother and sister got for me when they went to, my sister Amy went to, I think it was a New Jersey Wool Walk. Cool. Next whip is another whip you've already seen before. This is my, excuse me, I'm sorry, it must be my allergies or something. It is in a project bag that my sister Sarah made for me. And it is my Sockhead slouch hat. Ooh, I can't remember who it's by. I'm really sorry. I know you guys have heard of it. So I'm knitting this on Mondem yarn. It's Portuguese wool, 100% Portuguese wool and a fingering weight. And the color is just a number, color 205. My friend got this for me when she was visiting Portugal. So I'm knitting this on 16-inch fixed circulars, 2.5, 3.0 millimeter. So this is how far I've gotten. So I did 4 inches of brim. I think it's like 100,000 inches of stockinette for the hat, top part, whatever. This little rock progress keeper is where I was last time I saw you guys. So I've gotten a good chunk of it done. This is by Charmed and Dangerous. She has an Etsy page and an Instagram. And I just recently ordered keychains from her. So I'll show you those when they come in. It's for a gift. So I'm really excited to get those. I think they shipped already, which is awesome. And then my beginning of round is like, it kind of matches actually as my little octopus sushi. And this is from Bead Passion, which is also on Etsy. They have a lot of really cool stitch markers and they're pretty affordable. They'll do like stitch sets of like 5 for like pretty affordable. So I really like those. I kind of want to get another set though of the sushi ones because I've gifted a bunch out to like friends who are like learning how to knit and I'm like, oh, pick a stitch marker. And they've picked some. So I think I want to replace. And I think I swapped one with my sister Sarah. So I think I want to get another set of those, but that's way down on my list of things to do. So it's my Sockhead Slouch hat. I have worked a little bit on my vanilla socks for my husband. This is in my camper bag that my sister Sarah sewed for me and her and my friend Rachel when we went to Rhinebeck. A little present. And I love it. The inside, I showed this before, but if you're new, the inside is like a campfire print. Oh, so cute. So I'm knitting some vanilla socks for my husband. I kind of always have like a little bit of like vanilla socks or socks-ish that, not socks-ish, they're definitely socks, but vanilla-ish socks on the go because, you know, for like, I go into the city, New York City, twice a month now. So they're good for train knitting and TV knitting when it's like a late and I don't want to think about anything, but I do want to keep my hands busy. I've only gotten a few rows done on this. This is in Mustache Yarns, sent to me by a friend, Kirsten. Why can I never remember? I think it's Kirsten. I'm so sorry. Why is that so hard for me? Of the Knitting a Love Song podcast. She hasn't podcasted in a little while, but she had a podcast, Knitting a Love Song, and also did dye yarn. So anyway, she sent it Mustache Yarns, perfect sock, self-striping, in the Dark Side of the Moon colorway. So this is fingering weight, 80/20 superwash merino and nylon. So this is what it looks like. I was going to make socks out of myself, but it was a little dark for me, I guess, a little more masculine looking. Not that I care that much, but I asked my husband if he thought he would like them and he said yes. So I have, this is where I was last, my little progress keeper. This is like a little Rhinebeck. I think it says Rhinebeck. Rhinebeck or Bust from Katrinkles. That's where I was last, so I didn't get very much on it, but I figured I'd show you, and I didn't show them last time because I didn't do anything on them. And then I have my little stitch marker indicating the front and the back of the sock is my little Lizzie Bennett. It's Great Dane from Wee Ones. They do clay notions, like stitch markers. I think they do progress keepers and stuff. They were at Rhinebeck this year. Were they at Rhinebeck last year too? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm knitting these on a 40-inch fixed circulars Chowgu, which are my favorite sock needles. My favorite. I really like Chowgu. I might try to save up for, I have 2 sets of interchangeables, but I might try to save up for Chowgu interchangeable because I just really love them. US size 1, 2.25. That's what I knit all of my socks on, is a US size 1, and I knit most of my socks 2 at a time, magic loop, toe up, with an afterthought heel. That's my sock formula. Not really a formula. And my last whip is brand new, guys. I cast on the All of the Lights cardigan, cabled cardigan. by Hoagie Locatelli. I'm really excited. I'm also really nervous. Anytime I start a sweater, I'm really nervous because like I'm not one of those people that can like just read through the pattern and understand how it's constructed. I kind of just have to do it, pay attention, follow the pattern, and I'm like, oh, that's how you do it. Because I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. How do you pick up this? And how do you pick up that? And where do you pick this up? And it's like, just, they wrote the pattern for you to follow it. So just shut up and follow it and trust them. Okay, so I just started. This is how far I've gotten. This is like the shoulder. I think it's the right shoulder. So, but I'm like, I don't know. And I'm like trying to look at the thing. Does it go like this? And then this part comes down. I don't know, but I'm sure it's genius, however it is done. I really love Hoagie Locatelli patterns. I think I've knit one of her sweaters and I've knit a wrap. I just love them. So I'm knitting this out of Miss Babs Yowza. So it's DK weight yarn. It's 100% superwash merino. And the colorway is Mother Earth. I'm like a little nervous. Okay, so Hoagie Locatelli notoriously puts a lot of ease into her patterns. So I'm already not doing like the pattern for my size with the recommended positive ease. It is going to have positive ease in it, but I'm also short and the pattern is, the cardigan is quite long. So I don't know, whatever. I'm knitting a size smaller, kind of. It's not really a size smaller than what I would do, but it's just like a little bit, not as much ease as recommended. So, and then I know that they overestimate in the yarn quantities, like this many yards. So I'm actually like a little nervous. I got 3 skeins of it. They're big skeins. I wound up 2 of them because I'm alternating skeins, but this is one of them. I mean, it is 560 yards. So I don't know, it's just like, I don't know, I get nervous, but it is a repeatable colorway, so hopefully I won't like run out, but if I do, maybe I can, I'm like scared now. I'm just a nervous Nelly when I knit. I never think I know how to do anything. I'm always worried I'm gonna screw it up. I'm like, I don't even know how to knit. I know how to knit, guys. So I'm knitting this with my Llama interchangeable set. So it's knit on a US size 4 and a US size 6. So I did do a gauge swatch and I got gauge with the recommended needles file. So this is my gauge swatch. So that's what I'm knitting it on. Guys, I'm a little disappointed though. I really love these needles. I don't usually love wood needles. And I think that started because my first time ever knitting with wood needles was for socks. So they're very, you know, they're US size 1. So I was afraid I was going to break them because I was a new knitter and I was really tight and it scared me. So I'm like, I don't like wood needles. I like these. They're beautiful. I'm a little disappointed though, because I think I bought these almost a year ago at VKL in New York City, Vogue Knitting Live. And I don't know if I've used them yet. Maybe once I've used them. So I pulled out a cord and I'm knitting on it. I'm like, this feels really loose for some reason. This entire black, so the black piece came out of the metal piece. What? Like, these are not cheap needles, yo. Why are they coming out like that? So I'm a little disappointed in that, but it is what it is. I'm probably just gonna super glue it. Although you guys are probably gonna tell me that I could probably contact them and they'll probably replace it. Maybe I should do that. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. Is that all? Did I tell you everything? I think I told you everything. US size 4, US size 6, Llama. Told you about the yarn. Okay, and I'm alternating skeins, and that's how far I've gotten. And it's really nice. It's very soft yarn. I feel like it is a little splitty because it's not really tightly plied, but it's good. It feels nice. I have this in my new bag. It's not a procurement technically because I didn't purchase it myself, but one of my good friends bought it for me. She said it made her think of me. So I have it. I don't have any sweater size project bags. I usually just use tote bags, which work just fine for me. So it is proud to be a knitter. Guys, I love it. Maybe I should like take my yarn out and use it as like an actual bag so people can see it. Not like I don't have enough tote bags. I have 2 sitting right here. Maybe I'll put it in this Coriadale bag. I just got this at Rhinebeck and I love it. Maybe I'll put it in that and then I'll use this Proud to be a Knitter bag as an actual bag because I really like it. All right, I think that's all my whips, guys. I don't have any procurements, and I didn't have a real talk section until literally this morning at 5:30. So I'm in bed. My husband wakes up really early because he goes to work early and he works out in the morning. So I'm in bed on Facebook and I'm scrolling through and I see this post. My cousin tagged someone else in it. It is a crocheted Baby Yoda stuffy, like new Baby Yoda. And it's really cute. And I'm not into Star Wars. I've seen Star Wars, but I'm not like a huge Star Wars fan. This is Elizabeth Bennet. She wants some attention. Okay, but a friend of mine, workmate of mine, friend of mine, is like obsessed with Baby Yoda. So much so, I only go up to the office once a month. And so much so that the last time I saw her, she was like, have you seen Baby Yoda yet? Isn't he so cute? And she's been working at the office for a while and she's moving. It's in an undetermined period of time. So we don't know exactly when she's moving, but her husband got relocated for work. He works for Homeland Security for the airport. So he is relocating for work and they're moving to New Hampshire. So I was like, wow, I'm an experienced crocheter now. I've done about 3 inches on a crocheted blanket. I know what I'm doing. So good girl, Lizzie. I have this bed for her in my office that she never lays down on. I'm like, maybe she'll lay down while I'm working so she doesn't harass me, because usually she harasses me and then I just go work on the couch. But she never lays down on it. She laid down on it twice today already, so maybe she's warming up to it. Anyway. Okay, so my friend is moving. So I was like, oh, well, seeing as I'm an experienced crocheter now, maybe I will crochet it. So it's like this whole article on boardpanda.com or whatever about this chick who like taught herself to crochet, and she has like an Etsy shop and you can buy the pattern. She has the pattern available. I go to Ravelry. It's there. You can find it. However, it's like, oh, this pattern is no longer available for online purchase. So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. Like, what is it, in a book? I'll buy the book. I can't figure out how to buy it anywhere. So then I Google it, because I'm like, maybe I'll just Google it. So I Google it, and there's like 4 or 5 articles about this woman who created this pattern for Baby Yoda, and it's the cutest stinking thing in the whole wide world, and everybody wants it. And she has like one that she's already crocheted that is like so in such high demand that she felt like the only fair way to sell it was on eBay. And it's up to like $300 or something that people have bid on this Baby Yoda. I digress. So in another article, it says it's available. You can purchase the pattern on her Etsy shop. Cool. I go to her Etsy shop. No Baby Yoda. A lot of other patterns. No Baby Yoda. So is this article like 15 years old? And it's like, you know how that happens where like something comes up 15 years ago and it's like not even relevant anymore. And it wouldn't be, obviously, because the Star Wars with Baby Yoda in it is new. Regardless, the most recent article about this woman and her Baby Yoda is from 2 days ago. 2 days ago, and you can't get the pattern anywhere. And it says in that article from 2 days ago, you can purchase the pattern. And it's really annoying to me because like, I don't even want to crochet it. It was like a fleeting thought in my head, like, oh, that'd be really cute to like crochet this Baby Yoda for my friend who's moving. I don't even really care. But now it's like, I can't stinking find it anywhere. It's really irritating me. Okay, that was my real talk. And side note, I'm not a fangirl about anything really. Like, even my most favorite music artist, Jason Mraz, who I've seen like, I think 10 times in concert, I don't even fangirl about that. Like, I would never pay to meet him in person. If I saw him out randomly, I would never like approach him and be like, oh my God, I love your music. Like, I'm just not that type of person, because it's not like, I'm not like, well, I think celebrities need their privacy or whatever. That's not really where I'm coming from. I do think that they do get harassed inappropriately, but they're a celebrity. They do put themselves out there. They are, you know, famous, whatever. But I'm just not like, okay, so I'm going to go up to this person. I'm going to say, oh my gosh, I love you so much. And then what? Like, yeah, everybody loves them. What makes me so special? Everybody loves them. Everybody loves his music. I mean, I don't know. And like, then what? I get an autograph and I put it in a drawer somewhere. Like, I'm just not a fangirl. Would I like freak out internally? Be like, oh my God, Jason Mraz is right over there. Sure. I saw Pauly Shore eating a taco one time at LAX airport. And I had a mini freak. I was like, oh my God, Pauly Shore was over there eating a taco. And he's like, where? And I'm like, don't look. And also, side note, Pauly Shore looked at me. We made eye contact and he went like this. What? Does anybody even know who Pauly Shore is anymore? Okay. But I would never be like, oh my God, you're Pauly Shore. Like, I would never talk to him. And if I was in a situation where we were in line and the opportunity organically arose to like have a conversation with a celebrity, would I take it? Sure. But I'm not like freaking out about, I just don't freak out about celebrities or things like, or pop culture. I mean, I love pop culture, but I don't freak out about pop culture. I don't like spend a ton of money on things. And this is where I'm going with this. I know it's like, kind of sounds like, what the heck is she talking about? But I would never spend $300 on a crocheted, Baby Yoda ever. Even if it was the only one ever made. I'm not that type of person. And, okay, so I already said I'm not into Star Wars, so why would I spend I would spend $300 on anything. I wouldn't spend that's not true because I've spent $300 before, but I would not spend $300 on something just because it was that thing. Like, I would spend $300 on it if I really wanted it. I could use it. Whatever. Like, I loved it, but like, not just because. So for people to like go ape over this knitted Baby Yoda, it's so cute. Like, take all my money. I'm giving you all my money for that. Like, I'm just not that type of person. So the simple fact that I spent like 20 minutes looking for this stupid pattern is like irritating me anyway. It just like kind of conflicts with who I am at my core. Sorry. That's your real talk for today. Sorry. Let's talk about something else. And P.S. there are other Baby Yoda patterns on Ravelry available. They're not that cute, so I'm just not going to bother. What I'm watching knitting. So I have a brand new knitting It's not a brand new knitting podcast. New to me. Knitting podcast that I just started watching. She has not put one out in a little bit, and I think it's probably because of the holiday season. But I posted it on my Instagram because she was doing like, was it a knit along or some sort of charity knit that I thought I didn't want it to wait until my podcast to talk about it. D Heart House podcast with Alicia. She's on YouTube. I'm going to put a link back down below. I really like her. She's a teacher. Is she a teacher? Anyway, check her out. I really like her. What I'm watching non-knitting. So I'm watching a couple of things, but what I thought I would talk about or mention, whatever, is the series on Netflix, The Movies That Made Us. So there was already a series, The Toys That Made Us, and I think there's a few seasons and there's new episodes out, which I haven't watched the most recent season of. So it's along the same line, The Movies That Made Us. And like I said previously in my real talk, I really love pop culture. I'm like super into pop culture. So movies and TV shows and toys and games and things that are popular for a little bit. Like one of my favorite ever series was like, I love the 90s. I love the 80s. I love the whatever on like VH1. That was like one of my favorite things because they talked about all these like very popular things. Anyway, I digress. The Movies That Made Us. It's on Netflix. And it's a 4-episode series. So they talk about Dirty Dancing, Home Alone, Ghostbusters, and Die Hard, which I've never seen Ghostbusters or Die Hard. So, but I really loved it. It was really cool because these movies too are movies that are like cult movies that were like completely unanticipated to be big, and they're like, were huge. So that's really what I love about it, was like the movies that almost didn't get made. Or were like super low budget, and they're making people millions of dollars to this day. So it was really cool. So if you're into pop culture, I recommend it. It's a good series. I do think it's well made, and it's cool. Cool. What I'm listening to. Okay, so I binge listened to a new podcast called Last Day. There is one more episode left, I think, in this season. That's coming out, I think, in a week or whatever. But so you can listen to all up until that. Last Day is about the opioid crisis in the United States. And it does talk a little bit about Canada. The host is Stephanie Whittles-Wax, and her brother was Harris Whittles, who was a writer for Parks and Rec, among many other things. But he was a writer for Parks and Rec, and he died of a heroin overdose. And the producer is another woman whose brother also died of a heroin overdose. This man actually was like all fentanyl, but anyway, he thought he was doing heroin. So it's a really enlightening podcast. I will warn you, disclaimer, it is explicit. They do say the F word a lot in it. Not a lot, but in some portions it is kind of heavy on the F word. But I had some opinions before I started listening to it, and after I started listening to her, after I listened to a few episodes, I was really kind of thinking like, it's very interesting. I do work kind of ish in the healthcare field. I do dental billing, which sounds like I don't work in the healthcare field, but I worked in the office for a little while, and they do prescribe opiates for wisdom teeth extractions and oral surgery and things like that. The doctor will prescribe like Percocet. But he does it where he will not, a lot of doctors will give you, if you have planned surgery, they'll give you the prescription for the medication, and they'll have you fill it so that it's ready for your surgery. He does not do that. He gives you the written prescription on the day of your surgery. So someone does have to go out and get it for you, but it does help deter drug seekers who will make appointments for surgeries, get an opioid prescription, and then cancel their surgery. So I did know that previously to this podcast, but what I thought was really interesting, and there's so many really interesting things about it, and I don't want to talk about all of it just so you can listen to it if you want to, but one of the things I found very interesting was they talk about medical assisted or medicine assisted treatment, MAT for short, which is basically they medicate you through your detox, and then you are on medication continually while you are in recovery. So something like methadone, Suboxone, buprenorphine. Buprenorphine? This was a new one that I never heard before, so I don't know if I'm saying it right. Buprenorphine, that sounds right. Anyway, so some people are against that because they're like, hey, if you're going to be clean, be clean. Like, you shouldn't be on medication because basically you're just replacing heroin with Suboxone. True, you are replacing heroin with Suboxone. But if you look at addiction, like a lot of people are nowadays, like more people are becoming more educated on the subject. If you look at it like a illness, a disease, which I believe that it is, other illnesses or diseases you are on medication for the rest of your life to manage. So people who have Parkinson's take medication every day to manage their Parkinson's. If you have diabetes, you take insulin or a pill if you have a certain type of diabetes. I know there's a type of diabetes you can manage with diet and exercise, so I'm not talking about that. So why wouldn't you medically manage your addiction if you can? Because basically what we're trying to do is eliminate deaths from overdose. So if you can get off of these opioids and function and live, then why wouldn't you continue to be on medication for that? So I know that that's a controversial subject, and I appreciate that if that is not of your thought pattern, I totally appreciate and respect that. That's of my thought pattern, but to each their own, really. I also do want to say that I do not have any buddy in my family that is addicted to opioids. So I don't know firsthand what it is like to have a family member who has addiction like this. So you may be watching this and you may be experiencing it more firsthand than me. And so I totally appreciate that you have another, I'm not trying to be controversial by any means. I'm just trying to talk about what's in the podcast. So anyway, they're talking about MAT, and I can't remember now where I was going with this. It was just very interesting the way that they put it. And they have a doctor on there that talks about how heroin works in the body, what it does to the brain, why medically assisted treatment is better. It's really super, super interesting if you're into that kind of thing. But yeah, this is where I was going with that. So medicine assisted treatment, say, I don't know what that M stands for. Medically assisted, doesn't matter. It just goes to show how it's really, certain systems are really super messed up. So there is a limit to how often a doctor can prescribe medicine assisted treatment to a patient. So like they can only prescribe or recommend or whatever, get a person into MAT so often, but there's no limit to how often or how many people they can prescribe opioids to. You could see 100 patients and prescribe every single one of them Vicodin, and there's no regulation on that. But there's a regulation on how often you can prescribe medical assisted treatment. It's just very interesting. It's just interesting. That's all I have to say. On that note, and like I said, I really am not trying to be controversial. It is just something that you guys might be interested in. And if you have an opinion on the subject already, give it a listen, because there was a listener that they talk about in a more recent episode that after the first episode hated it and thought they were being absolutely ridiculous about it. And then after they had listened to it, had changed their mind. Not that I think you're going to change your mind, but I don't know. It's interesting. Give it a listen. That's my work phone, and I never ever answer it because it's always telemarketers. On that note, I think I'm going to sign off. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the podcast. I'll see you again in a couple of weeks. By the way, the reason why that was 3 weeks this time is because last week was Thanksgiving, even though I don't celebrate Thanksgiving, and I really was going to podcast. My husband was home and I was feeling much too lazy to get up and podcast. So that's why it was 3 weeks this time. Anyway, I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.